The strange and unclear circumstances of this case have made this story one of the most notorious unsolved murder cases in German history, or possibly one of the very few cases where ghosts have become murderers. In a small settlement in Germany stood a very isolated farm in Witch's Wood. It was March in the year 1922. The Gruber maid began hearing footsteps in the attic. Sitting quietly in the near dark, faint whispering was also heard. The maid quickly notified Mr. Gruber, but he saw and heard absolutely nothing when he checked. Shrugging it off, the maid carried on with her daily duties, but the noises and voices wouldn't stop. After many years working for the Grubers, she had to leave. She left and never looked back, calling the home haunted. It was hard carrying on without the maid. The farm was large, the house needed to be kept up, and the children needed tending to. The family continued, but it wasn't long before witnessing the haunting themselves. A few weeks go by when Mr. Gruber began hearing movement, walking, pacing, all from the empty attic. Quickly, he'd pop up into the attic expecting to see an intruder, but he didn't see anything. An old, empty, dusty attic and nothing else. At first, he blew it off. Maybe the extra work, since the maid left, was causing him to imagine the strange bumps in the night. Days go by, random noises. The family continues tirelessly until the whispers started. At first, it sounded like someone was having a conversation in the attic. The voice was quiet. The family couldn't make out the words. The long days and even the longer nights continued. The noises of movement, the whispering, it was everywhere. It sounded like it was coming from the attic, then through the walls. No explanation could be found. He searched and searched, but couldn't find any more footprints in the snow. At this time, he's really freaking out. Someone was in the house. He quickly yelled at his sleeping family to search for the intruder. They checked every inch of the house and found absolutely nothing. Later, Mr. Gruber went to visit his neighbor, where he spilled his guts. He told him about his maid, about the footsteps, the voices, the stress, everything. He continued on telling him he even found a newspaper in the house, right in the open, that wasn't there before. He didn't buy it. He didn't know where it came from. What's even worse is the fact his keys have recently disappeared. The neighbor, who is now obviously worried for the Gruber family, offered a gun, but Mr. Gruber turned the offer down. It's been about 6 months since their maid left, and the family finally found a replacement. According to the later autopsy, it appears the maid had only worked for only 1 day on the farm before being bludgeoned to death, along with the rest of the family. Friday, March 31st, 1922. At around 11:30 p.m., a neighbor was walking past the farm. He noticed the outside oven was lit, and whatever was burning in it smelled horrid. A man that was tending the oven was intentionally shining a light into his face to ruin his night vision. Saturday, April 1st, 1922. 2 traveling coffee dealers stopped by the farm, but no one answered the door. The mailman delivered the mail, and he also said he saw no one. Sunday, April 2nd, 1922. The Gruber family did not attend church. Monday, April 3rd, 1922. The 7-year-old failed to show at school. It was at this time people started discussing. Smoke was seen coming from the chimney, and the animals were being cared for. Someone had also been milking the cow. The mailman's weekly round started again, and he noticed Saturday's mail had not been touched. Tuesday, April 4th, 1922. A repairman had arranged days before to fix an engine on the farm that morning. The homestead was quiet other than the farm dog barking. After waiting an hour, he decided to force himself inside the engine shed. He repaired the engine and finished at 2:30 p.m. As he was leaving, he noticed the dog was tied to a post, and a barn door was closed that previously was open. The neighbors gathered to search the farm. The main farmhouse was locked. The barn wasn't. Through the barn, they headed to the door that led through the main house. That's when they saw an old door on a pile of hay. There was a foot sticking out from the hay. The door was removed, and the depressing discovery of the family of 4 was made. The house was searched, where the maid was found bludgeoned along with the 2-year-old. The fireplace was still lit, and food had been recently made. It appears not only had this family been murdered days ago, but someone had also been living in there and caring for the animals as well.